Good evening and welcome to the 30-day mental diet. This is day number 26, and I am Pastor Jeffries, the minister and pastor of the Philadelphia Church of Universal Brotherhood, located at 530 Eastern Parkway, Brooklyn, New York. And I am happy that we are together again this evening. We're going to start out with opening with invoking the presence of the Holy Spirit. Just bow your heads wherever you are. Eternal Father and our God, we're thankful to be in your presence tonight. We're asking you to be with us as we study. We're asking you to open our minds and give us knowledge and understanding of the material we'll cover. But then we're asking you to cause us to not only remember it, but enact it. Help us to live it out. Help us to put it into practice that we may upgrade our lives and we may have good success in all that we undertake. From this day forth is our prayer. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Now, we're talking about you can avoid old age. This is a very good topic. This is a very interesting topic. I know all of us want to stay young, vibrant, and in the game. All right. So that's the game of life. Okay. And I know that you do that by the way you look, how you eat, how you carry yourself, and most of all, the way you think and the way you think about yourself. If you have good thoughts about yourself, if you make up in your mind, listen, I am not going to get old, I am not going to feel rheumatism and arthritis, and you stay relatively healthy. Most of us, by the way, let me just say this while we're at the outset. A good way to stay relevant is to walk. Okay, I'm telling you from experience, the more you walk, the better you feel. I need to walk more, but I noticed that when I do it, it's a favorable effect on the body. Swimming is another good thing. But as for our lesson, it says, you are as you think you are. You are as you think you are. We're studying from the book, The 30-Day Mental Diet by Willis Kennard, and we're tuning up. We're going through the book. We're at day 26. It's a 30-day mental diet that culminates Friday, April the 19th at 5 p.m. with the Grand Passover service. And it's going to be held. Everybody's invited. Come and visit us and come and have a good evening and a blessed evening. Most of all, a blessed evening. Uh, we're going to be starting 5 o'clock sharp, April the 19th. Save the date and be there. The Grand Passover service, we all know and we accept that Jesus Christ is our Passover. He's the Paschal Lamb, and He went to the cross to save you from your sins, for the forgiveness of sin, and He also went for your healing. So we want to come out that night and celebrate that, and keep doing this in remembrance of Him, and for our betterment, for our healing, and for the blessing that is attached to it all. Now, the book says in the beginning paragraph, it says, let's read it together. For all practical purposes, it is the nature of your thinking that determines the aging of your body, because thoughts influence the functions of the body. A negative pattern of thought can slow down or inhibit the action of any organ or process so that it shows evidence of what they term old age. Now let's look at that. That's an interesting thing. It says your thoughts influence the function of your body. So if I'm thinking that I want to stay relevant, if I'm thinking I want to stay healthy and I want to stay young, I have to think young. I have to exercise, yeah, but I have to see myself as healthy, carry myself as healthy, eat healthy, and believe that I'm going to be as good as I want to feel. I've been trying this for years and it works. It does work. You'd never believe how old I am. But nevertheless, the body is always young. Let's read that. That's a very interesting paragraph. It says a very interesting thing about the body is that the material which comprises it, the various atoms which constitute the cells that turn and that in turn make up the body structure are being continually replaced. That's something. Your cells and your body are constantly and continually replaced. Various atoms, which constitute the cells that in turn make up the body structure, are being continually replaced. Cells and atoms are being continually replaced. Various studies made by medical researchers indicate that at most, no part of the body is over 1 year old. There is the continual process of new material being incorporated in and as the body, and old material being discarded. Well, from this point of view, it is obvious that it is not the body itself which ages. It couldn't be if it's continually changing, and the researchers found that no part of the body is over a year old because it's continually replacing itself, rejuvenating itself. It's completely making itself new again. So the material, and that's great because that omniscient mind that created the body, he did a masterpiece. And you know, men used to live as old as 900 years old, and it's not unusual for them in that day and age. And they did not have the medical genius that they have today. So the body's pattern, huh? There is a pattern according to which the body conforms. There's no doubt that there would have to be, or else the food which you eat could never become cells and structure of your body. No healing could take place, no renewal could ever be effective. The idea of body, the pattern does not change, neither does the law through which it is projected into manifestation. So you find that both the primary cause and the means of its being tangible are timeless. They're timeless factors and universal in their effect. What am I saying? The idea of the body, that pattern, that does not change, neither does the law which is projected into manifestation. The law is unchangeable. What you see is what you manifest. That pattern is unchangeable and it stays the same. So you find that both the primary cause and the means of becoming tangible, they're timeless. That's the way it's been. That's the way it's going to stay, and it's effective. So you say, what grows old? The material which constitutes the body is constantly new. The manner in which it becomes the physical structure of the body is in accord with the great law of life which never lessens in its action. At this point, you find yourself confronted with the unique question, what does grow old? Not that there are not other factors involved, but the main thing which can influence the degree of aging that you experience is the process of your own thought. Your own thought regulates or determines the rate of old age, your own thoughts. Theoretically, your body should not grow old. We just discussed that. But you can and do permit your thinking about it to age, which is, of course, reflected in its functioning. You see, if you're thinking that your body's going to slow down, if you're thinking and you're expecting rheumatism or aches and pains, and you have given in to it and say, oh, well, look, it's part of life, I'm getting old. If you think like that, it is going to overtake you, and you're going to experience it because you're buying it. You're buying it with your thoughts. You're inviting it with your thoughts. I would never admit to that. I would never succumb to that. Uh, Thinking is what really buys your life and what you experience in life. So I would never think that I'm going to have pains and arthritis. And I mean, look, they say that it comes, but I know that if you exercise, you're even better off because then your joints and you're keeping active and you're enthusiastic and you will not grow old. You know, you can stay young and stay relative. Your thoughts take care of that, and if you have a healthy diet of affirmations, the uh, uh, decrees that you say. I'm young, I'm staying young, I'm staying relative. My body functions in the perfection to which it was created to function, and you expect it, your body's going to keep going because it's continually replacing itself. It's rejuvenating itself. And when you're expecting good health, you're going to manufacture good health because our thoughts manufacture the outcome of our lives. Many a person at 40 appears and acts as a person of 80. And on the other hand, you see a person at 80 who has more vitality than a person of 40. The source of such differences is found in the way the individual thinks. Many people feel that the age of 50 is the dividing line, that this is the point when old age starts. You see, you're inviting it, you're expecting it, and it's going to come if that's your thinking. But on the other hand, if you are thinking, look, I don't have to succumb to that. I don't want to get old. I'm not going to be getting old. I'm going to eat right. I'm going to exercise. I'm not going to be expecting it. And you say that and you live that, then you are not going to experience it. You're going to experience health and vitality. You seem to be as old or as young as you think you are. That's the deal, and that's what's real. At most any point in life, you can introduce into your body the evidence of old age by what you think about yourself. What counts is not what you see in the mirror, but what you mentally want to see in it. What do you want to see when you look into that mirror? You want to see a vital, young, enthusiastic person. Carry yourself that way. Keep yourself looking good. Keep yourself looking relevant all the time. Look your best. Whether you're at home or you're outside, look your best. Do the things that are going to keep you in the game, keep you relative. Creams and washing your face and taking care of yourself and doing your hair and your nails. They make you feel better. They make you look better. You look younger. You look healthy. You look enthusiastic. And not only that, you like what you see, and everybody else will too. So make that operate your modus operandi, huh? Where that's what you do. That's how you operate. At, at most, any point in life, you can introduce into your body the evidences of old age by what you think about yourself. So don't think bad about yourself. That's the part that I want you to, that's why I repeated it. Think good thoughts. See yourself young, beautiful, relevant, a better picture. This is Willis Kennard's recommendation. He says you need to establish a better mental picture of yourself, a picture of the way you want yourself to be, not of what you fear you will become. There is a natural process of maturing involved in all living things, but there is no reason why you should hasten or prematurely develop an advanced state of senility when you obviously should have many more years of happy living ahead of you. Think about that. Expect to have a lot of happy years ahead of you. If you have children, you're going to want to see the children grow up. You're going to want to see them successful. You're going to want to interact with your grandchildren. Expect to do it. Keep yourself in a way and in a frame of mind, mental uh, health, where you are expecting to see your second and third generation, and you will look forward to it. Okay. Um, there is there is also the fact that you should ignore the evidence of statistics that certain things happen to most people at certain ages. You are yourself and not most people, and what happens to your body is directly related to what you think of yourself. I'm going to read that again. You are yourself and not most people. And what happens to most people is directly related to what you think of yourself. Huh? So I want you to think good things of yourself. There's no necessity for your physical condition to follow any statistic average. No statistical average should relegate what you are expecting to experience. You, your own self, choose your thoughts. Remember, we spoke about that last week and also the week before. Your thoughts are things. What you think is what you manufacture in your life. If you think you're going to stay young and relevant and you don't expect to have aches and pains and get old, hey, it won't happen. You're not having it and it won't happen. You're the one that orders what goes on in your life. You're the boss. You're in charge. You select the thoughts. Your responsibility is to select the right thoughts, and the rest is automatic. Okay? You are made that way. Does thinking age? That's the question. If it is your pattern of thinking that is largely responsible for the age you appear to be, then is there anything in the nature of thought itself which ages? That's the question. And in the book it says most evidence indicates that the ability to think does not age or deteriorate. Rather, the contrary appears to be the case. Some research has indicated that there is an active maturity of thinking that can only be attained after 50, when most people are ready to give up and quit. There is also evidence that people who think in a creative and constructive manner live longer. All right. Now that says there is evidence that most people or people who think in a creative and constructive manner live longer. Now, isn't that you? I want it to be me, and I think that way, and I want you to think that way. It's never too late to start. The best is yet to come. I like that. I believe that the best is yet to come, and I want to be around to receive it. Amen. A youthful mind. The book goes on to say this: the minute you cease being mentally alive, your body reflects the pattern of thought and begins to slow down and become sluggish in its action, and old age sets in. The minute you cease being mentally alive, well, I'm mentally alive. I want to stay mentally alive. You need to stay mentally alive. I call it staying relevant. You want to be relevant. You want to be uh, young and in the game. I'm not saying that you can do everything that you can do when you were 21, but you can do everything at a rate and a good rate when you are expecting to stay relevant. You stay relevant, keep your thoughts relevant, keep positive thoughts. Expect to live long, expect to enjoy life. If you can train yourself to be active and productive in the way you think and maintain a concept of health, vital body, the body itself will readily conform to the pattern you have established for it. A youthful, active mind is your insurance against what others experience as old age. That's deep. I want to read that again. A youthful, active mind is your insurance against what others experience as old age. Keep up with your kids. Keep up with young people. Think young. Don't say, I'm getting old. I don't want to do it. Don't, be young, be active, be enthusiastic. Get out there and do. You'll feel better for it and you'll stay young. Science, philosophy, and religion again weighs in on the topic, and I want to read them for you tonight. I One of them say science. Let's go with science. Hans Selye says this: I am sure we could still enormously lengthen the average human lifespan by living in better harmony with natural laws. We can do ourselves a great deal of good in this respect by just yielding to or natural cravings for variety in everyday life. We can do this. Let me read it again. I am sure we could still enormously lengthen the average human's lifespan by living in better harmony with natural laws. We can do ourselves a great deal of good in this respect by just yielding or natural cravings for variety in everyday life. Get out, do things, have a variety of things you want to do. Do active things, ride a bike, go roller skating, do things that are engaging. Take a chance, have have some fun. The more you do it, the better you become. A lot of these things keep you young and are good exercise. And I think that's a very good suggestion. Philosophy says this: it is impossible to detach God from the world. God is the sustainer of body as well as its inner guide. That's pretty good. It is impossible to detach God from the world. God is the sustainer of body as well as its inner guide. He is the inner guide and the sustainer of the body. Now, religion says, behold, I make all things new. And he's talking about you. So expect to be made new. Expect to stay relevant. Expect to stay young. Now, I want you to know that you're invited to the Passover celebration once again on April the 19th, 5 p.m. at 5:30 Eastern Parkway. We're going to have a good time. I want you to come, but I don't want you to come alone. Bring a family member, bring the family as well as a friend, and come on out and expect to have a great time in the Lord. It's a family type setting, but and we're going to have a good time uh, to celebrate Jesus as our Passover. Now, every evening we've been reading the diet. You can avoid old age. And there's a mental diet that we adhere to at the close of every session. Now, I want you to remember this. You think your own thoughts, but their creativeness of your experience rests in the nature of the life of mind, your mind. When it says it rests in the nature of life, it's a capital L, and it's meaning the mind of God. So keep yourself relevant, keep yourself young, keep yourself thinking positive, uplifting thoughts. Let's read the diet together. Every time I read this diet, I read it in the first person. And I want you to read it in the first person as well. If you don't have the book in front of you, follow along with me. Within the mind of God and the action of the law of life, that's capitalized. Law of life is capitalized because it's talking about God. Okay? There is nothing that can aid. Again, within the mind of God and the action of the law of life, there is nothing that can aid. All the material substance which constitutes my body is ever available to it, and the law that governs my body functioning never case, never cease their action. Okay? They never cease their action. Life knows what to do and how to do all that is needed for the full expression of itself through me. Now, life is capital, and I want to read that again. Life knows what to do and how to do all that is needed for the full expression of itself through me. So God knows what to do, and He knows what to do for full expression of Himself through you. That's what this means. I accept the action of life as what I am. Again, I accept the action of life, which is capital life, meaning I accept the action of God as what I am, continually and vitally renewing and sustaining itself. I no longer condemn myself by what I think to present or approaching experience of old age. I now release all previous concepts of myself which have inhibited the normal, natural action of vital living. Mentally, I keep myself alive, alert, and productive. The mind of God never exhausts itself. Its action as my mind is ever refreshed, keen, and wholesome, and my body is a reflection of the nature of my thinking. I release my body from adherence to any negative thoughts I may have had about it, and I leave it free to conform to the great law of life that continually renews it. The capsule supplement just crowns everything. It says, I now determine that my thoughts shall contain nothing that is contrary to the vital and ever new expression of life in me. I discard all ideas of old age and affirm that my body is healthy, normal, and active. And with that, we're going to say good night. We're going to see you again tomorrow night, same time, same station. Tell a friend and save the date for August 19th at 5:30 Eastern Parkway. I meant uh, April 19th, 5:30 Eastern Parkway, Brooklyn, New York. We're going to have a great time. Hope to see you there. Have a good evening, and I'll see you tomorrow night. Same time, same station. Good night.